Hello! Long time no see you! So we are currently on a road trip in Sweden, which is something that we talked about, me and Vincent, for super long. And we thought that we would take the opportunity now that I am on holiday.
Look at this view.
We are by the Lake Vättern right now. And Vincent is off from school, so we are both off at the time. So we've been driving from Stockholm and we made our way down to the town that is called Gränna. We almost reached the town and we stopped at this very cute cafe that is a sort of glass house, and it's an organic cafe with a nice view over the Lake Vättern. And upstairs they do also yoga, meditation, so it was a really nice vibe, but we had to do it kind of quickly because time is getting tight. So now we will stop in Gränna, which is famous for producing porkagris, which is this Swedish hard candy. Like probably you will think about in the Christmas tree you have this hanging, how can it be called in English? I don't know, probably have a name in English, I don't know. I will show you after, so probably you will understand what I'm talking about. But it's so picturesque here. So we film a little bit of the road as well before we get there. And we are heading towards Gothenburg. That's our final destination of the day. Good morning from Gothenburg, you guys. Alrighty, it's a rainy day, surprise. It was the same last year that we were here. We got here to Gothenburg yesterday evening and it's now 7:42 in the morning. And after breakfast we are actually leaving and starting to head towards our West Coast road trip. We are not gonna spend much time in Gothenburg because, as I said, we were here last year. But there is one thing that I've been longing to do while in Gothenburg this whole time. Kanelbullar.
Ja.
Ta med.
Var det bra så?
Ja, tack.
Det är 69 kronor där.
Habemos kanelbulla. So look at the size of this. It's not just the biggest kanelbulla that I've ever had in Sweden. Oh my god, it's super wet. Can you hold the bag? I mean, not wet, but moist. Look how big it is. Okay, I need to put it in perspective with my face. So we literally need to cross this little bit of a river or of a creek, and that ferry is gonna. Yeah, that ferry is gonna take us across. So now it's leaving and going on the other side. Then it will come back, and we get with the car on the ferry. To Marstrand after the torrential rain. We did it.
And it's even sunny.
Yeah, Marstrand is its own little island and it's like very cute cozy roads. It has a fortress that we will go soon, and then we stumbled across this pretty garden here. Is this like a
Lavender.
And it's so funny, this dude also is wearing a rain jacket because it's so rainy over here.
You match.
What have we got there?
Ooh, a little seafood platter.
Yes, man. Just a little appetizer. Straight from out there. We made it to the fortress. We had to take maybe 5 stops from the rain. And now this is an extra stop because it's raining again. But yeah, we are currently chilling in the former tennis court of the King of Sweden.
Cool.
Swedish summer.
It's fucking great.
It's beautiful. But now we better go. Let's go! You guys, look at our restaurant. What a view! We found this shop that it says something like, how would you translate, Vincent? Like diverse shop or something.
Like it sells everything diverse.
And it has all these really old things. It feels like these ones that you find in the museums. Like those biscuits, they feel that they've been there since 1850. So fun.
That's a classic biscuit cakes.
Yeah. Maybe it is a museum. Cannot be a normal shop.
Hey.
Hello!
Oh, wind blown.
So right now we are in this sculpture park that is called Pilane. How would you pronounce in Swedish?
Pilates.
Nej,
Class.
Pilane, something like that.
Pilane?
Which?
In Gothenburg. Yeah.
Ah, my ear. So it's an old. You can describe, Vincent. What is it?
Shall I help you?
Describe.
It's a sculpture park. It's an old grave field from like back, dating way back. I don't know where or when, because it's here. And it's they put up 13 or 12 sculptures.
It's really cool because all the landscape around, it's this typical rocky west coast, and those sculptures, they really stand up in a really, really cool way. I don't know if you can see, there is this giant head. So this is the old graveyard, grave field. And how did you say they put the main rock in the middle and then they surrounded of small rocks, and that's where the person is buried? Persons, a lot, a whole family or what?
I don't know. Or warriors that went down at war. Or
So today we are in a town called Smurgan. This is the most touristic town that there is in all the west coast, at least in this part of the west coast. And you can see there's a lot of touristic shop and so, but it's also really nice to be among a little bit more people, because so far it felt like we were like, is it even high season? We didn't notice that at all. The weather is finally on our side. Okay. So we spent a little bit of time, around 2 hours, in a cafe having lunch, because in the meanwhile we've been booking a trip for tomorrow to a place that is amazing, and that is really off the beaten track, so I can't wait to show it to you guys. I'm not even sure if I'm going to include it in this main vlog or if I will do like a separate one. I think I will do a separate one for that. So we are now about to hike up this mountain in Fjällbacka, and we have some energy support. I mean, this ice cream is saffron, honey and Kinder Bueno. It's amazing! Are you ready for a hike?
Yeah, but I'm thinking it's 2.8 kilometers.
Oi.
Shall we walk? That's a whole
Okay.
round. Shall we walk? That would be half.
Yeah?
Like up and then down here.
To the
because I guess
parking.
we are parked here
Exactly.
somewhere, no?
Yeah. I thought that it was a little World Cup, but here we need to climb the rocks and stuff with an ice cream. You know actually about this thing.
Yeah.
You didn't mention it, I told you.
Why there are so many carvings in this part of Sweden can depend on the fact that these rocks are so smooth, and it's a perfect place to make carvings on. But it also could be that the material granite it is still very hard material, and because of that we still can see the carvings. Because they're old, they're very old. Most of the carvings here are made during Bronze Age, and that's like 1800 up to 500.
We just made it to Grebbestad, and we got a tip on a place that is serving langosh, Australian langosh, Hungarian langosh, with shrimps, so West Coast style, and that's what's my goal, because it's 2 o'clock and I'm starving. High expectation coming up. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yours has rum as well. There.
Let's say for this story was fun. This is a kallbadhus, which means a cold bathing house. And I told a story about the one we used to have in Stockholm, but it's not there any longer. Where instead of going to the bathing house and you bathe in the swimming pool, you come to the bathing house and you bathe straight in the sea, because the bathing house is on top of it. Then you have facilities and stuff around it.
So you have a sauna, changing room, showers, but you actually dip in the water. So do you think that this is still working? Or it's
Looks
not?
very much like it.
Oh, that's fun. If it's warm tomorrow, maybe we skip
I've read
the...
about it. It has a famous kallbadhus here.
Aha! It's super nice, and like look what a surrounding.
But I thought, that it was connected to the big spa.
Ah.
I didn't know it was out here, like this.
So with this super nice view. So that's where we're planning to go for dinner. It's like a smokery, and they smoke their own fish and shellfish and so on. And then if you see on the side there, it's like a fish market. And I think they have also a shop in there with their produce. That's gonna be our dinner stop.
And that's the ferry to Norway, Sandefjord, because we're literally almost on the Norwegian
Yeah,
border
we
here.
are by the border, so people speak Norwegian here actually.
A lot, at least.
Yeah. So dinner was delicious, and now we are heading to, how is it called, Clarion Hotel? Scandic Hotel, because I read online that there is a dessert chef that is like super renowned, how do you say, like super famous? Is that in Swedish? I don't know. Anyway, a super famous dessert chef, and I'm feeling like I have some space for dessert, so we're gonna go there and have some after dinner drinks.
So Alessia wanted oysters.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we need to have oysters before we leave the west coast, but we couldn't find them anywhere.
I don't know if it's off season for oysters.
Could be. So instead we'll have dessert, why not, at the end. And I saw some pictures online, looks amazing. So that's where we're heading now.
We're experiencing Strömstad, well, the west coast generally, but maybe Strömstad in particular. Very quiet because of Corona. Norwegians aren't allowed by their government to travel to Sweden, and since we're like on the border,
usually it's really packed with Norwegians apparently.
Here, but now they can't. And it was even on the local newspaper in the kiosk. They had on the headline like the consequences for the coastal pearl with the Norwegian government decision and how it hits the tourism here in Strömstad.
So that was really good for us in one side, that we could get Strömstad like this. Feels like if we are almost the only people, no, not the only people, but it's like busy at the right level. Now in the restaurant we had maybe 6 more tables taken, but it wasn't packed.
But a group of Germans though.
That somehow they made their way up. So yeah, I just thought it was fun to tell. So you have a little bit of an idea of how is Sweden during this pandemic. We decided to go and check out this little shop really quick because yesterday was closed.
Smell, if you could just smell.
Yeah, it smells like fresh seafood. Our goal is to have an oyster before leaving the west coast, and maybe this is the only option that we have. How adorable is this place?
I love the fish smell soaked in the walls and the furniture.
And like the nets of lobster outside. So this is just next door to Rockeriet, and it's not open for dinner, but I really recommend to come for
Yeah, it was
lunch.
closed because we ate next door yesterday. It was closed.
Look how cozy, and like people buying the fresh fish, and it's literally, that's the door to the fish auction. So it's like super connected with it. Let's go. Let's go.
Did you say which oysters these are in the video? These are among the world's best oysters, the local Swedish oyster, which actually goes by the name of the European oyster, but it's Swedish. It goes here on the Bohuslän coast.
Oh my god.
Is it good?
How much do we love to have uncooked seafood for breakfast?
No. True, it's become like a routine.
In Bari we did it. It's like if you have a bite of the sea without the disgusting things in the sea, just the tasting.
It's already going so fast, too fast. We're already hot.
They are 45 kroner each, so they are not the cheapest.
And the French oyster, which they also sold, is 29 kroner each.
Yeah, so we went
But that's
for...
because this says proper Swedish oyster.